Goodbye to you, Robinson. I don't like the way you grow. Robinson flowering crabapple. I don't like you. And I don't like you. But I do like you. Oh, I need my big pruners. No, we'll improvise. Oh, that one didn't turn out so bad. Dorset Golden Apple. So you look at this sort of thing and you say, what is he doing? He's a psychopath. But beside that, other than that, there's a reason for this. What are you? Gala apple. I kind of like this branch. That branch is really wimpy. But that will be the top branch. If I cut it right here. Yeah, I like that better. The reason I'm doing this is because these things need to stay small. People are so afraid. Now, not you guys that are watching, obviously, because you're all psychopaths. I mean, good gardeners. But people are so afraid to get in and prune and open things up. And it does a world of difference. The things you can do with pruning will amaze you. You know, if you go and get a, what is this thing? Bartlett pear. If you go and get, I don't know that I'm going to do anything with that. I kind of like it. If you go and you get a tree from the store, you stick it in there, and it is this big, crazy mess of a tree. Nah, we'll take the top off. That's what I want right there. And you just let it grow the way it is. It actually is not necessarily going to grow that much faster. You're going to lose some vigor on it. If you prune it, you will get better results than you think you will. And you can shape it from the beginning. Because you can bet that these things have already been pruned to a certain extent at the nursery. And the way they've done it is to make it fit in a pot, and it's often to make it go up so it looks good. So you say, oh my goodness, I need one of those. I need that thing. So here we have a mess of different options to choose from. Who bought this tree? Oh, I did. This one I could see going sideways. That's not a bad angle. That one's not a bad angle. You can see it as a very strong apical dominance. Pears like to go up. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I'll take that out. Go for more of a vase shape. We don't need this little secondary one. We don't need this little secondary one. We don't need this little one. Let's see how that does. That's interesting. You're not going to kill it. I've got here a peach. This was grafted right here, and this peach has the ugliest shape of any peach. This is horrible. If I just let this thing go, it's just gonna stink. The graft is down here, it looks like. I don't like that at all. taking the whole top of that thing off. Now what's gonna happen, now the reason I could go that low on a peach is, I'm above the graft. I want it to go like this. I want it to come out from here and make a vase. That's how you want to prune, you know, train your peaches, prune your teaches. You want it to kind of go out like this. And so it lets a lot of light into the center and makes a vase. And maybe that, you know, that stem will thicken up and stuff. I shouldn't even have bought that tree, but it was freezing cold when I was at the nursery. And I was just like, load some of those peaches, give me a few of those peaches. And they just kind of threw some in for me. And I don't like the shape of that thing at all, but well, it is what it is. But I want that thing to go wide open and spread. Here's a heritage raspberry. This is a raspberry that bears a couple of times. It's got a spring and a fall. And I have heard if you don't prune it, you will get a spring and a fall crop. But if you do prune it, you get a heavy fall crop. So what I am going to do is test that. I planted probably a dozen of these things. So what I'll do is some of them I'll prune down like that and let them come back in the spring. And then other ones like this one, I'll just leave it alone. There's no need to, I mean, I can experiment with it. I could see, okay, what did this one do and what did this one do? Maybe this one will go. See, it looks like in the fall, it was actually putting on some blooms. That's not gonna do anything anymore. Because it was looks like it was tip flowering there and it died back. But who knows, maybe the other branches will decide that they want to bloom, and that's great. We can do that. With the blueberries, you don't really, often rabbit eyes don't need much pruning. You can prune them for shape if you want to, move them around. I have a much better video on it. I am not an expert on blueberries, but my friend Bill Hall is, and his video on blueberries is pretty awesome. The one I filmed with him, he just had so much information, and I gave it this really like awesome clickbait thumbnail, which you may have seen before and skipped. Now, here we have a blackberry that's absolutely running insane this way. I could prune it up, train it to a wire. I could cut it back and see what happens. But this cane may not have fruited yet, and it might give me fruit, and I'm just gonna leave it alone and see what happens, just because. Oh, what the heck, I've got so many of these things already. I guess I'll just go ahead and prune it. We'll get it to branch. Make crazy branches. And here's what else we'll do. We'll just take these sticks and jam some of them into the ground and see if they just root in the ground. Because sometimes weird things happen when you take dormant sticks and stick them in the ground. Maybe they will root. Stick them in deep into this nice soil that I am creating. Incidentally, you can do this with figs. This time of year, sometimes you just like take the pieces, ram branches in the ground, and if the ground stays moist enough, they'll take. We'll see. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. And now we'll get to see what that blackberry does when it grows back. I am not a huge expert on pruning, but I have discovered that it's way worth doing. Even when people have said things like, "That is insane, David. You killed it. You killed it so much." Like when I was pruning the mango trees down in the tropics, you killed it. It won't fruit for you. Ridiculous. The thing was fruiting the next year on some of the growth that I didn't cut, and the area that I cut reshaped beautifully. I took a tree that was way out of control and unproductive and made it into this nice little ball. Yeah, that's the way it goes. So here's one of my in-between raspberries. Boom. Let's cut it up. I have plenty more. I like the idea of a big crop later that's supposed to be better. So we'll leave that one, that one. What else do we have down here? I think we have another malformed, crummy looking peach from Fly By Night LLC. Yeah, there we go. All right, so who needs these poles? Poles are for wimpy trees. We don't have any wimpy trees in this garden. There, grow into something. There's another blackberry. I'll just leave it alone. Poor thing, frost damaged. If you want to learn more about how to prune really well, I'm just this guy online, you know. I mean, I look smart today because I have my glasses on, but in reality, I'm just a gardener like you. I take my glasses off, I'm just a normal guy. Let me show you some resources for pruning that I really like. These 3 books are my favorite books so far on pruning. This book, Pruning and Training, by Christopher Brickle and David Joyce. There's a lot of ornamental information in here, and here's all your techniques and how to do different things. This is what we're doing right now, hardy fruits. And this will show you all kinds of pruning techniques, including ways to run trees sideways, fan training, step over training. There is some crazy information in here. It also has information on dwarfing rootstocks, but I don't bother with dwarfing rootstocks for the most part. I may get some just to get faster fruiting, but usually I have semi-dwarf. This is a cordon style where you run them sideways. It shows you how to train those. It shows you how to train espaliers. Look at that. You can run it all sideways. And this is the kind of awesome system you can do in a very small space. You have a little garden. You can put an apple tree in your yard in a really itty bitty space. Look at this, fan trained apple tree. So this book is great. It also has sections on some tropical fruit, though it's not quite as intense, citrus and other things. And then there is a section on berries. This is an old one. This is a classic. It's inexpensive. Somebody recommended it to me the other day, and I realized, I went and I bought it after she recommended it, and then I went and I realized that I already had a copy. But the fruit spurs, the heavy branch growth, this is a more traditional methods for orchard training. Very useful. And then finally, this one will really inspire you. This is a great way to backyard prune. This is Anne Ralph, Grow a Little Fruit Tree. Here she is with a little itty bitty bush apple there. This book is so simple and useful and talks about why you would want little trees and different ways to do little trees, like planting 3 in 1 hole, or turning lemons into a bush rather than a tree. Super useful, excellent book. And I will put links to all 3 of these below, and I will use my Amazon affiliates link, so if you decide to buy there, you don't have to pay any more, but it does go to me, so full disclosure. But anyhow, I would buy all these books because I actually did. And I love to just look through them and think, oh, could I stick another tree in the yard? Could I put a fig over there, or whatever? Don't be afraid to prune. You have to fight that apical dominance. And there's so many things you can do to make trees smaller, to make them more productive, to get better fruits. It's fun, and it's fun to learn how to do, and year after year you can shape trees in different ways, and you can do way more with trees than you ever thought possible. And just like I had to lose my fear of grafting, I had to lose my fear of pruning. And now I'm just totally, I don't even want fruit. I just want to cut trees into pieces because I really think it's amazing. No, I'm just kidding. I am actually going to prune them to get fruit. Just for anybody that's like a total literalist, when I say something that sounds like it's a little strange, I'm probably making a joke. So if that's you, I'm sorry, that was a joke. I definitely want fruit. I don't just cut things just for the sake of cutting them. I cut them because I want them to fit into spaces where they wouldn't if I let them grow into a giant tree. So there you go. Thanks for joining me, and I will catch you next time. And until then, may your thumbs always be green.
Yo, 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 you gotta prune your plants. Gotta fight that apical dominance. Yo, 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 you gotta prune your plants.
plants. Gotta fight that apical dominance. Busted out with sharpest shears. Nature trembles when I draw near like Paul Bunyan with the mighty axe. Chop the trees down to make them come back in 2s and 3s and 4-branch selections. Cut again if they fail my inspection. And if you're a wimpy seedling
trying to find a zen state of being,
crowded among your sisters and brothers, goodbye little wimp, I ain't your mother. I'll kill all the sprouts crammed up in the soil with a stick from my scissors in the toil. Yo, yo, you gotta prune your plants. Gotta fight that apical dominance. Yo, 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 you gotta prune your plants. Gotta fight that apical dominance. Yo, 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 you gotta prune your plants. Gotta fight that apical dominance. Open up the resources and root courses, decapitating everything like unearthly forces. You can't pay me puff cause I'm Agent Franks, knocking down punks but no one says thanks. Instead I make all survivors nervous, though my blade work is an act of service. I'm the chopper, I'm the man, I'm like the watcher, awake in the nightland, eyes on the great redoubt causing insanity, ready to devour the end of humanity. No, no, that's an alternate tuning. I'm not really evil, just doing my pruning. Yo, 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 you gotta prune your plants. Gotta fight that apical dominance. Yo, 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 you gotta prune your plants. Gotta fight that apical dominance. Yo, 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 you gotta prune your plants. Gotta fight that apical dominance. Yo, 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 you gotta prune your plants. Gotta fight that apical dominance. Yo, yo, yo.